That's me.
Everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups. You know, the guy that intros the podcast, I saw him at an eclipse party last week.
Wait a minute. There was no eclipse last week, Jason.
Was that last week? Did I miss that?
Yeah, well, there's eclipse all the time. They just don't talk about all of them, as far as I know. It's the RCGroups podcast. It is Thursday, which is unbelievable because it was Friday seconds ago, and now it's Thursday, which means it'll be Friday tomorrow, and then I'm going to be 95 if I'm lucky, and I won't remember what day it is anyway. I'm not kidding you. The cat is now at the top of the window. I don't know what he's doing. I would expect him. The other day, Jason, I might have said this in the podcast, I had a toothpick in my mouth. Did I tell this story? I have a toothpick in my mouth, and I'm chewing on it, and I'm sitting on the couch watching some great TV show, and out of nowhere, the cat flies through the air, and his front claws latch into my lip like fish hooks. He's not hanging off my lip. So I had to pick him up like a Vienna sausage and then unhook his claws out of my lip like fish hooks and not like throw the cat across the room. I simply said, "That's not cool, dude," and put him on the ground. So yeah, the cat's still cute, but moderately dangerous at this point.
Hey man, that's like the worst part of fishing too, is having to unhook the fish.
Let me tell you the secret about getting a fish hook out of your skin or of your friend's skin, which I've done both things. Just clip that fish hook off and slide it on out. Don't be trying to get that barb out of there. You just
clip the end off. Yeah, that makes sense.
Jason, I did something that if you were my wife, you'd be upset about. But, of course, we're not married. We simply work together.
And this is awesome because I did something today that my wife is happy about. So it's like.
Well, I went to the field this week.
You okay? Thanks for the invite.
I did. I was sitting right here drinking coffee. Everyone listen to the podcast. We have so much stuff going on. Usually I don't have to prepare because we all can sit here and talk for an hour with nothing prepared. But this week, I thought that perhaps I would prepare, and I did. I actually took pictures. Okay, first, here it is. I took pictures while I was at the field, knowing that I might want them for the podcast. Oh my gosh, I can't show it.
Nope.
I didn't split my screens out. That's a problem. Dang it. I got all prepared, Jason, and now I'm not prepared. Anyway, let's talk.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell y'all what we're going to do in the podcast format. I'm going to show you some photos from going to the field without Jason. Talk about flying the UMXGB after tweaking the turning things up a little bit. And also the reason I went to the field that day. So, Jason, I'm going to kick it over to you because I think what you should talk about right now is fall Nall. We have live viewers showing up, and fall Nall coming.
While I'm doing that, you should work on getting your mic to be turned on. You're using the computer mic. Just saying. Which is probably why the intro music sounded a little soft to me. I didn't catch it, but our crafty viewers immediately.
I kind of want to start over. Okay, don't talk about fall Nall. If we start over, do you think it will tell them that we've started over?
Oh, no. Hey.
You know what I'm going to do? I have a brilliant idea.
What are you going to do?
First, I'm going to fix this microphone problem. Yes, you are correct. For some reason, it's picking up from the webcam. What the what? Oh, Jason, I'm having
the pre-show, everybody, where Jim T. Graham learns how to use computers.
Oh my gosh, man! It always works. Maybe it's unplugged. I see the problem now. It was the cat.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Now the cat unplugged it. I'm gonna blame it on the cat. Okay. Check. How about now?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Let me hit the save button. Check.
No change.
Yes.
All right.
No, is it changed?
No.
Jason, you need to talk for a little bit. I got stuff to do here.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about
don't talk. Don't talk about anything important.
Don't talk about what? Okay, well, how about this? I had to make a really tough decision today, guys, and I'm kind of distraught about it. You all know probably I'm an Apple guy, long on Apple. I I'm not just a fanboy to be a fanboy. I just really like their stuff. I get the new iPhone every year. I'm on the upgrade plan. And I made a decision today that I'm not going to get a new iPhone.
I'm not either.
And the reason is I don't want the massive one of the iPhone X Max, the XS Max. And it's too big. It doesn't. I love it to like use and to type on and to like browse websites and the work and all that stuff. But I hate having it in my pocket. It's too big. So that being the case, I already have the iPhone 10, and the 10s isn't different enough really for me to warranty or to warrant just upgrading. So I had to like walk into my wife's room and say, I just decided not to get the new iPhone, which is like so out of character for me. It's ridiculous.
Awesome.
I feel like I'm losing a piece of myself. But I'll save some money.
At some point, you have to ask yourself, do I need to buy an $800 phone every time they come out with one? And the answer for me is not anymore, man. Those days are over. And my wife usually was the one encouraging me to do it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it says how much I like the iPhone 10 because it's literally just about perfect. There's nothing really that I don't want, and it's like it's just so good that it's going to last me a whole other year.
Hey, users, do I sound better? It's telling me that I'm running off the phone. No? How can that even be, though, Jason?
I don't know. I can't see what you see. Do you want to like stop this? Let's get it figured out and then start back.
Check. It says it's using the. I'm actually going to restart this whole podcast. I'm not going to turn it off. I'm just going to start over. It says default microphone USB device.
Let me take that.
There it is.
I got it.
That's it.
Okay. Hey, this whole thing's starting over in 3, 2, 1. More head bobbing, Jason.
Welcome to the RCGroups podcast with your host, Jim T. Gray.
That's me.
A little higher.
Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups. The guy that intros.
The guy that intros that is actually my neighbor, Jason, and I went to the lake with him not too long ago with he and his wife, and he recently he has a 5-year-old son. So 5 years ago he had a son, but I can tell that he's my age and he needs a break. So I told him that he and I would go out once a week and hopefully alleviate some of this pressure of being a dad at 50.
That's a great story. I'm so distracted by your silky smooth voice now.
Thank you. I actually have changed the whole mixing board and everything. So, you know what? Okay. So Jason, tell us about Fall Nall. I know that you're going now. I've got to tell everyone. Everyone's saying, see you at Fall Nall. Well, I'll see you at Fall Nall. You're not going to see me at Fall Nall because that's the same date for 15 years that I've had NashPro, my Nashville event, which is why I'm wearing this shirt. This is the shirt of NashPro this year.
Boom.
That's me when I'm dead, but still wearing cowboy hats and winged. And then this is actually, I did not make this hat because I'm pretty sure they would sue me or someone would find a way to sue me. Some pro bro made this deadhead. I'm going to say some to protect their identity, made this deadhead hat. And it's a Profile Brotherhood and a deadhead logo. So that's cool.
Not on the file though, baby. I'm a little I'm nervous and excited. And I have some really cool news to share about pre-fall in the Nall. And I'm nervous because I'm going to be by myself. Sort of. I'm actually not going to be by myself. Nikolai is going to be coming. He said he's got a hotel booked. He's going to be down there. So that'll be fun to see him. But I'll be with all my friends, so I won't be by myself. But technically, I'm going to be the only RCGroups employee, Flying Giants employee, working the event. And Nall is a lot to cover for 3 guys.
This isn't Nall. This is Fall in the Nall.
This is Nall in the fall. Is it going to be as big as Joe Nall because Joe Nall was canceled? We're going to find out. It's the first event, right? So we don't know. But I'm going to do my best to take pictures. Jim and I we're going to have a conversation next week about the best way to cover it as a single person. What's more important? And if you guys want to let me know what you'd like to see, is it pictures? Is it video? Is it news stories? What do you prefer in coverage if you can't go to the event? what do you enjoy seeing? I'd love to hear that from you guys. Now, the cool news, it's in 2 weeks. I'm going to be there Wednesday, the 26th through the weekend. And I'm going to actually be driving to my dad's house in Hickory, North Carolina on the 24th on Monday. And then I'm going to be just driving a couple hours on Tuesday to go visit John from Eagle Tree.
Which John has always wanted us to do that, and I never could talk myself into making the extra trip.
So I'm going to go spend a day with John at their gun club. We're going to fly airplanes. We're going to shoot guns. We're going to have a blast. We might even shoot guns at airplanes. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a really good time. But that's going to be my pre-warm-up for Nall in the fall, and then I'm going to leave from there. It's just a couple hours away. Then we're going to go kick it up hard. Do I have a golf cart, Jim?
That is a tremendous question. The answer probably is yes. In fact, well, I don't know. Let me make that phone call. But I would think, of course, you would. And then I would think even Nick might have one. I don't know. I've never done Nall in the fall or fall in the Nall either. I've never done either one of those shows.
So
but here the big
I get a golf cart, and hopefully I can locate our T-shirts, which have been down there since May.
So the big news. So there's a couple of things to say about this that I haven't vocalized. The day that they canceled the show and the rain was coming in, I did call Mark and I said, Mark, please make sure that our $3,000 worth of shirts aren't by the door, you know? And so then, right. Then like a month later, I thought, I should check on our shirts. I was getting worried. I know what happens to the shirts that sit around in boxes. And so he said, Jim, I moved them to a pallet. They should be safe. So hopefully, Jason, when you get there, there will be a plethora of Joe Nall shirts ready for you to give away.
Nice. So I'm planning on doing that similar days. Well, Thursday, the 27th at the 3D line, something like 10 a.m. We're gonna get that finalized, and I'll have an article out on RCG and FG later to confirm all those things. So look forward to that. Get your shirts if you're going to be there. Come say hi. Come give me a howdy doody,
a hug,
a woo, or something, just to let me know you're there, you're having fun, and you appreciate what's going on. So now, I'm Jason, looking forward to it.
What if you get there and then you really enjoy doing shows without me? Now that's a problem.
That is a problem. Well, who's going to drive? Who's going to tell me stories?
Yeah, right. I mean, when I'm here at the office, I tend to work for real. And it's not that we don't work at Joe Nall, but we tend to also we're good at having a good time. I feel the most comfortable in a golf cart personally. So I do miss it.
And I'm going to go dual this year. I'm just like last year. I'm going to do golf cart and Segway. So you drive the golf cart to the area, park it, and then you get the Segway out, and then you're able to cover the area more efficiently, and it keeps away the monkey butt.
And usually, if I'm here and you're somewhere else, it allows us to cover, I think, better because somebody's actually in the office making sure everything's going up and working. But I will be actually in another field here in Nashville doing my own thing. And since I run that show and I'm responsible for all those people, I can't really do anything like that. So you're on your own, Jason.
Yeah, buddy. It's going to be a good time. You're going to miss out. You're going to have a good time, but you're still going to miss out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say
well, I can't feel bad about going to my own show that I've had for 15 years.
15? Are you that old?
I'm starting to realize that is the case.
Man, I don't know. I don't know when you have your midlife crisis or whatever, but I'm turning 39 next Friday. And I'm like, man, that's really close to 40. And I'm used to being like the young guy and the kid and the baby face dude. But now I'm almost 40. This is creeping up on me, man. I'm not happy with it.
Well, let me tell you, I told my daughter that 50 is not midlife because I ain't living to be 100. But I can also tell you that 50 is the time to have a midlife crisis. So you're not there yet. I was 42 and still working in Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
To put that in perspective.
I started like somehow just instinctively I was looking on like the classifieds for like red Miatas and sports cars.
Oh man, I'm hot for my 68 C10. I'm getting old enough now to get when your friends start dying like a lot, then you're like maybe I should do some things,
Yeah, it should work out. Yeah, I'm avoiding going to the doctor because he's gonna be like, you need to exercise more. Dang it.
Well, when you have that colonoscopy, call me and I'll tell you how to prep.
Is flying DLGs not exercise enough? Apparently not.
No, I actually exercised before the podcast today. I went and did the elliptical.
There you go.
And, it keeps me feeling young. Guess what I've done, Jason?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? I've got one pretty good surprise for you. It's not a gigantic surprise, but it's a fun surprise. But I did fix my screen, and I wanted to share my day at the field with everyone. So I went out to the field, and this is the Edwin Warner Aviators, and literally these guys taught me how to fly RC.
Oh, that picture right there reminds you of something I need to tell you about after this story.
Okay. Maybe we'll look at it again beforehand. So there's a couple of different clicks there at the field. These guys sat on that bumper almost the whole time I was there. And so I was going between the groups, Jason, and I'm going to tell you why I was at the field for real in a minute. But Bob is on the end in the black cap. Bob is the first guy. Now, Bryce was the first guy to teach me to fly, but Bob's really the guy that helped me put my first airplane together. So he was there every day. I brought this airplane in, and he would say, "Oh no, your ailerons need to go this way," and then I go home and bring it back the next day. And so for a month straight, he looked at my build every day and told me what I did wrong.
Nice.
So I have a lot to owe to Bob, and
Sure.
I also wrote about this club and Bob and Model Aviation Magazine this last month. And so the day I was there, by the way, Jason, is club day when they eat breakfast together. And I almost thought about doing it, but I didn't. I just went to the field, and then they were like, "Dude, we talked about Nashbro and how you said that these guys almost never come to my own show." And I was like, I want to see club members at the event. So they talked about that. They talked about being talked about in the AMA magazine. Jason, isn't that an old Hobby Lobby airplane?
It's possible. It looks like it's probably a foamy, and I would say no.
Okay.
It is a foamy. It's not. Yeah, negative.
Well, it's fast, I'll tell you that. And then a friend of ours was there. Does that make you think about who it might be?
Does that look like Mike Hines' A4?
Yeah, Mike Hines. That airplane has no wings, but he was flying that thing around. And there's Mike.
I've flown that airplane.
And his
I've flown that airplane too.
Hey, and it was cold. Now it's steamy hot outside, and I was in a t-shirt.
Dude, I feel like fall crept up on me. All of a sudden, it was like 60 something in the morning. And I walked outside and I was like, wait a minute. It's September. That totally makes sense.
Oh, and then here's something that I bragged about you. I'm a leader member now with the AMA.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah. I think unless you're a girl, if you call me Jimmy, it's derogatory. It's like you're talking down to me. It's like you're calling me stupid head or something.
They can change that because maybe mine says Michael. I don't know. My first name's Michael.
Well,
that's a shocker. I think mine says Jason though.
Everett was there, of course. He was the first guy at the field, flying flawlessly. Okay, now I believe the next picture is going to tell you why I was at the field. Oh no! Hey, how awesome is that?
Whoa, that's my age right there.
That's my radio case. Okay, nope, more airplanes. So it's like a ducted fan jet city out there. So this photo is of Steve Johnson and his wife. And
it's the feathers. There you go.
Yeah. So I was going through some photos a while back for something, and I found this photo, and I said, "Hey, Steve, I'm gonna make you something." And so he called me and he said, "Meet me at the field. I'm bringing the wife because I wanted her to like or dislike."
Yeah.
And so I made my leather feathers. She picked the one that I liked, which is this one, the dark one. And then I let him keep both keychains. And so these keychains are for his airplane.
Nice.
And these are to match the feathers on their legs, which are their good luck charms, which are also what my feathers are. So just indulge me for a second, Jason.
How cool is that?
Have I told you the story about where my feathers come from?
You told me. I don't know if you've told the group. You probably told the group too, but go ahead and say it again.
So the feather story, and this is kind of flight related since feathers are for flight. I've been picking up feathers since I was a little kid. I have feathers in all my hats and all my trucks. I have feathers on my desk. I have a feather on this desk that sat on my desk the whole time I worked at Hobby Lobby.
Hey, I have 3 feathers hanging on a wall in our living room.
Okay.
Metal, like artsy stuff.
Okay.
Keep going.
Ed, let's talk about nitro planes in a second.
What's the
Shiz
nitro
9.
plane? Can anybody
I have a nitro plane link up here that I'm going to talk about. But I'm for real. Anyway, I had a dream, and this usually in my dream I have a lady who waves at me, and usually she waves at me, and somebody who is my family who's dead is there, and I go over to the lady who's waving, and it's my dad or my grandpa or somebody like that. But this time it was just the lady, and she said, "Hey, I need to tell you something." And I said, "What do you got?" And she said, "I need to tell you about your totem." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Your feather is your totem." And then boof, she was gone, and I rose up out of bed. "My feather is my totem," I said in real life. And then when I woke up, I went and Googled it because I thought, I know birds and things like that can be a totem, a spirit guide type of thing. But turns out that feathers are actually a higher spirit type of totem. And so a dream told me a fact that I didn't know was true until I went and checked it after the dream told me. So
that's a cool dream.
Yeah. Okay, so moving straight out of this and into another thing, Jason, after going to the field and flying that UMX GB and watching Mike fly his airplanes that he loves so much, I thought, what is missing in my life?
Uh-oh, what is this?
A real GB is what's missing in my life. I've always wanted. Yeah, well, not a real one. I'm not Jim Burke or anything. This is this is the Carf Models GB,
Cool,
right?
Cool.
I see a big.
How big is that bad boy?
Well, that's the problem. It's what I want. It's big.
It looks pretty big.
It's big as a beer keg, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that it would take a really big, like 150 size motor to run it. And I'm not that guy yet, you know? And so I was like, is there an option that's not $4,000? And this is the only other GB option I could find.
Oh.
And this
Model Y, yep.
This thing is pretty small. I don't know if they have a size representation.
It was right there. It's 1200, or yeah, it's 50 inches, 1270 millimeter.
Well, see, 50 isn't bad because I was shooting for a 60-inch Horizon plane. That's what I want the Carbon Z GB to be, 60 inches.
It's different with the Model Y, though, with the fuselage not being so big.
Yeah, it's longer. It's not what I want, but it's closer, and I'm sure that it flies great, and it's 165 bucks. I wonder, I would like to probably put some sort of AS3X gyro in there, don't you think?
You could put a gyro in there, yeah.
If you put an AS3X on a plane like this, I should know this. Yeah, right. It's more of a Ryan, says Nick. It's true, but I can't find anybody else that's making a GB. Great Plains had one listed, but I don't know what the availability of that is. But if you put an AS3X in there, would it know how to be set up for the plane? Or do you have to tell it stuff?
You can make it work. All it's looking at, you have to just mount it properly, you know, correct orientation.
CG in the center.
Have to be able to get your surfaces to it. Yeah, but they sell those receivers with it built in, and you just have to mount it the correct way and set it up, and it's good to go.
It might not even need an AS3X, but it's very interesting. Plus, motion doesn't really help support us at all, so I don't know if I can go there. But
I'm going to look at something while you're talking. I bet you there is I just was wondering if there was a 3D printed model of it that you could print on your giant printer.
Oh, I'm not doing that. There's Carf GB.
I want to print an airplane to fly. It's going to happen.
I found a video of one of these, and it's just, this was it. So tremendously. Look at that bad mofo. Wow.
Yeah, that's like the one you showed earlier.
Well, that's what I want. I want one that big.
Well, it takes a big honking engine to balance it because of the nose.
Well, you know, I want smoke too. It's something I've always wanted, is something that smokes. But that's a finger chopper right there. He's just gonna sit down and fly off on that thing, I think.
You could totally ride it. You know what? It definitely looks like one of those kids' toys you see outside of a grocery store. You put in a quarter and it just moves forward and backward.
Well,
it's about the right size for that.
I'm going to stop sharing now. My thought was that, wouldn't it be cool to have an iconic airplane that when you break it out, everyone stops to watch it, you know? And
you're looking for that demo plane. Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you have an everyday flyer, it's a once in a while break it out.
for me, it would be the thing that I would go out and fly, and then I would just get good. It's like my theory: one man, one gun. You know, that would be my single gun, and I'd be really good at it, and I'd own it. You know.
Yeah, I think we can make that happen.
So what else you got going on?
Well, that picture, it wasn't about the airplane in the picture. It was about the grass in the picture. And when we first bought this new house, it's got a pretty small yard front and back. I don't even remember the size, but it's not very big. So I bought one of those mechanical, it spins as you push it kind of mowers.
Yes. Oh, I love those.
And it worked great for a little while. And then the grass really started growing. And the type of grass we have, I don't even remember the name of it. I should know this. But anyway, it doesn't work well with that mower. So we were having a hard time. And my wife went out and did it once. And she was like, we're buying a mower. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm like, okay.
Hey, you were just saying you needed exercise.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I don't want a gas mower unless I could store it outside. And I don't have a storage building out there. And I don't want to get one for it yet. So I was like, well, what am I doing here? I was like,
electric.
Do we hire service? So I looked into electric ones. I ended up buying an electric lawnmower, and it folds up and then sticks on its end, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. And the battery lasts an hour, which is way more than enough to do our yard. And it does. So I'm like,
rechargeable, or you got to plug it in?
No, it's a rechargeable, big old giant lithium battery. It's massive, and it's amazing. It cut really well. It's self-propelled, so it drives itself. So just like Nick said, I'm thinking there's probably a way to RC this thing, because it's just some electrical.
Oh, right, yeah. Switches, servos on the wheels, right?
Yeah, I just got to come up with some way to steer it. Get some. I can either try to. I can't really do counter steer with the rear wheels because they're powered off a single axle. But if I could get some steering system set up on the front wheels, we could totally RC electric lawnmower. It'd be so fun.
Well, and then you got to FPV it.
That's easy. That's an easy part.
Right.
Yeah, and then I could sit in my office here
in your
on
goggles.
the TV and go mow the lawn. How cool would that be? That's gotta happen. Awesome. I'm gonna wait till this thing's out of warranty, probably.
Sounds like an article.
Yeah, I got to start looking into. I bet I can 3D print the steering parts.
Hey, Shiz9's talking about nitro and giving it away. I really believe that nitro's coming back. Like me, like if I went out somewhere and somebody had a GB built like I wanted, and it was I don't know what motor it would have on, but I think it would be kind of interesting to be. I still have my nitro stuff in the back.
I got rid of all my stuff a long time ago.
I sold all my motors, all my good motors, but I think I still have my starters and get a glow connector. And I bet money I still have all my gas pumps and all that stuff. I'd probably have to get new ones though.
Yeah, I really don't miss it. I mean, it was fun, and there was something cool about the noise and the smell and cranking it up. I hated cleaning them every time. And then I still have all the fun you can have with electric and non-powered. It's just like, I don't need gas power.
My solution for cleaning them was I just never did.
Never did it.
What I got hanging out here.
Gosh, that's okay with gas. Like if you do gas, you don't have to clean as much. There's not as much. But with nitro, there was just so much oily residue. Unless you put one of those long butt deflector things on there and try to get the exhaust away from the airplane as much as possible.
This cat has figured out how it works now, so now he's sleeping on my desk here.
That's hilarious.
What else? I have more to talk about. Let's see.
I don't know if we talked about this. Maybe we did. I said I wasn't going to go, maybe. But I ended up not going to the Bruce. LG competition last weekend. I hate that I missed it, but I'm glad I wasn't there. I really wish I would have been there to hang out with everybody, but they only flew 6 rounds on one day and got just stormed out just like I expected it to. Destroyed a bunch of canopies and tents. But they were, everybody, there was only like 5 guys that didn't come. So they all had a blast hanging out in the barn, throwing knives and hatchets and just hanging out, being friends, drinking the bourbon and all the stuff. I kind of wish I was there to just hang out with everybody, but I like the competition part of it, and they didn't really do much of that. So I hated that. But now my next competition I'm gearing up for is the Pumpkin Chunk, and that's the team selects for the USA team for 2019.
Awesome.
So
That would be awesome, Jason.
I made 4th at the Nats. If I make the top 3 at this one, then you're on the USA team and represent the US and the Worlds. So there's a chance. I mean, I think I'm capable. I just got to have it all come together. So it's exciting.
What would it cost? Let's say you were on that team. How much would it cost for you to travel?
It's going to cost a lot. I'm going to have to fundraise if I made it. The team fundraises. The AMA provides not very much. But it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Could as a team member, could you be like, I'm sponsored by, and then have a company just sponsor you, or do you have to be, it's all at general sponsorship?
You can, I mean, you're going to have to self-support some of it, a lot of it, actually. I mean, it's thousands of dollars. So yeah, I mean, I would have to do a GoFundMe or some kind of thing, or talk to some sponsors and see if we can get some money, because it's not cheap to get over there and stay for 2-3 weeks, and hotels and food and travel and all that. But it's the world competition. It's a big, big, big deal. So it would be really an honor to be on the team and make it. But there's a lot of great guys. We've got like 50, 60 guys coming out to compete for it. So it's going to be tough.
Well, that would be awesome. Jason, I think it was yesterday, I was making a podcast from one of our old podcasts.
Yeah.
And I always listen to them after I make them to make sure, A, that they're right, and B, that I can glean some of the information for the post. And I heard myself say something, and I realized I hadn't done it.
Yes.
So I designed the RTM shirt. I'm pretty critical of myself, but this is one I really like.
I will buy that.
So there's a little aging right there.
Yeah, I see that. I like it.
I wanted to bust up that black a little bit. So let's see. So here's the logo itself. Read the manual. Now I was thinking, what else could I make in this genre? And I was also thinking, I didn't read the manual, or don't read the manual would be the other option there.
Oh, don't read the manual.
Right.
What's a manual?
There's 2 of us. There's 2 types of folks. And so anyway, I was keeping it for the podcast to show you that.
That's funny. I like it, dude. I will get that.
You will not believe, you would think that would take me like 10 minutes, right? To make it ready for a shirt. It was at 5 o'clock I started, and dinner was at 7, and I was still trying to get it up. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not creative like that, but like you artsy people will sit there and tweak it and mess with it, and I'm like, it looks great. And you're like, I can use this, and this text isn't the right side. I don't know. I think it's awesome. I applaud you for it. Good work.
Hey, I meant to bring this up at the top, but the Fall Nall is coming up, but so is Nashbro. Nashbro is September 26th through the 30th. We have what appears to be a pretty good amount of guys going, and we have some OGs. Some of the original Pro Bros from the earliest days are showing up theoretically.
Swanee?
I believe there will be a Swanee showing, yes, and I believe there's going to be a Gator showing.
Nice. Jeff Williams?
I don't think Jeff is showing up. I think Jeff is going to the Nall Fall.
What was his airplane that I loved that I had, the profile? The something 540?
Edge 540? Oh, of course.
Sledge 540?
Yeah, it was Sledge.
Sledge 540. Man, I miss those airplanes.
What else do we have? I have more. I'm running off 2 monitors now in an effort to be like a normal person. So I'm going to
go from that, they use the microphone to having 2 monitors in the same podcast.
Present to everyone. Okay. So first of all, I want to note that when I popped up here, Lane's banner came up. I did tell Lane that I did not like this banner, but that's his prerogative. And I believe we made some more Lane banners. I actually did make more Lane banners for him. But Jason, I don't know if you saw this today. Vote Greg Stone.
Who's Greg Stone, Jim?
Right. I don't know. Greg Stone wrote me a few days ago, and he said, Jim, I'm running for District 10 Vice President. And I would love, he said, everyone's asking me why I'm not talking about this on RC Groups. And I said, awesome. On both counts. I love that people wanted him to put it on RC Groups. And so I said, look, man, send me your information and I will put up a feature article. So here's some information about Greg. he looks like the guy from that car show, right? It just occurred to me. You know what I'm talking about? They're English. There's 3 of them. Top Gear.
Jeremy Clarkson?
Looks a little bit like Jeremy Clarkson.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I went and started looking at his pictures, and he is going.
Jay Leno.
He went to. He's gone to shows all over the place with this banner to go meet people and say, "Vote for me."
That's awesome. That's how you do it, right there.
Right. Well, I was like, "Holy cow!" And my leader member. I thought, well, now that I'm a leader member in the future, as I get even older, I could be a VP of a district one day, right? But then I started looking at this guy's resume. I brought my wife in, and I was like, I can't be the VP of anything. I might be the VP of Nashbro, but that would be, this guy actually has done quite a bit of stuff. And so you can go check it out and look at all the things he's done for the hobby. He's California-based guy, it looks like. And I do put an editor's note here, Jason. I'm happy to help promote any candidate running for an AMA office. If you wish to do so, just PM me with your info. That's right. So what I'm saying there is that if you're like, hey, what about me? I want to
unbiased.
Yeah. I'm happy to put up what you need. So anyway, that's happening. A mass email went out just an hour or so ago, so you can check your inboxes for that.
Isn't Neat Fair going on right now?
Well,
I think Neat Fair is happening as we speak, or tomorrow.
September 13th.
Yeah, it starts today. I know some vendors are going up there. Hopefully, I don't know what the weather's like, but I know that hurricane is hitting the East Coast.
Let's see if there's any North Carolina up there. Now, Jason, I used to go to this as a Hobby Lobby employee, and this might have been one of the first shows I ever went to. You went there as a Hobby Lobby pilot too, right?
Sure did.
That's pretty hot.
And I've done it both ways. I've flown out there and made the long butt drive.
So
on the terrible Pennsylvania roads.
And Hobby Lobby used to have a little Jeep, and it was usually Kevin Butts got the unlucky job of pulling the Hobby Lobby trailer in a completely not appropriate vehicle.
Oh yeah.
You would hit a bump and bottom out on the springs would bottom out on the axle. It was
dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous for sure. I still wish I'd have wound up with that Hobby Lobby trailer. I wonder where that thing is at now.
I bet Mark still has it. Or maybe he sold it with the business. Who knows?
That'd be cool to have. I could use a trailer, I think. Okay, so that's happening. I'm not watching the live chat, Jason. So if anything happens in there, let me know.
They're talking about read the manual and how to make a lawnmower steer.
Gotcha. I put up a new podcast, number 74, because somebody was saying, where's all the vocal podcasts? So I do have it on my list to keep doing this. I have so many I could turn into audio podcasts. Jason did something that I wanted to do a year ago, actually. Pete Goldsmith was at the Horizon event and said, Jim, he didn't like me to talk like him because I do it so well that he gets confused. But talk about this, Jason.
Yeah, I actually talked to Pete today on the phone. He's on his way up to an Aerotow event somewhere. And so we wanted to get him on the podcast. We'll hopefully get him next week. But Pete's all about getting people to build airplanes. He wants people to enjoy that segment of the hobby. The joy of building your own airplane. And he's been producing these kits for a little while, just kind of out of his garage. Just bought this new amazing laser machine. And so he's producing these awesome kits, and one of them is the Opal, which is a really popular F3 res competition, sailplane. But they're kits, so you build them with wood and cover them yourself, and it's just a great way to get in and learn how to build and enjoy it. And so he's finally like, you know what, we got to turn this into an actual thing and have a website and start getting more serious about it, because it's just been so popular and they've been taking a lot of orders. So this helps to formalize it. So Peter Goldsmith Designs, check it out for sure. He's a good friend of us and RCGroups and just a big promoter of the hobby. He's been doing it a very long time, worked at Horizon forever, Spectrum team guy, JR team guy.
Definitely an icon in the hobby that you would look up to.
Good dude. He's the guy that taught me how to discus launch.
I took pictures of that. They're out there somewhere, Jason.
I got to go back and find those for sure. It's years ago.
Here's something you don't know about Peter Goldsmith. He went to the same high school as the AC/DC boys. And so the outfit that Angus Young wears is actually what Pete wore when he went to school. That's
awesome.
his. Yeah, little known fact. He looks like an early skateboarder from the Lords of Dogtown documentary.
Yeah, man. Looks like he could have been on Stranger Things.
Very cool. Awesome. We're going to jump back over. You can read about that on RC Groups and click the All RC button, and you'll see that there. And then here's our podcast. And we have the new T28 coming out from Durafly. Has anyone talked to you about reviewing that, Jason?
No, they haven't. But I just saw it come out, and I was like, yeah, it's a really cool color scheme, retracts and scale details, and just looks good,
And with that, let's thank our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com, the makers of Durafly and the T28 Trojan Naval Aviation Centennial Edition airplane. Go check them out. This is cool. Tell me about that. It's a 3D printed power paraglider frame for those who can't see the video.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick sent me this. Nick from time to time will send me interesting things he finds. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do a new story on that. That's awesome. So this is a 3D printed thing on Thingiverse that somebody designed, and it's based around the Hobby King airfoil, the parafoil thing that you can buy on them. It's like $18 for the parachute. It's not an awesome quality one. It's nothing like the Opal or the Hacker paraglider, airframes. But if you have that airfoil from Hobby King, then you have a 3D printer, you can build this, and it just uses some standard size servos and some easy to get motors and speed controllers. And it's got all the parts and building instructions on Thingiverse, and you can build your own paraglider frame. I think it's pretty neat.
Very cool.
I'm always down for interesting things like that.
Are you going to make it?
I don't have that. I don't have that airfoil, so I'd have to get one. It's only $18, and I think they're out of stock at the moment. But if they do, I will gladly do that. Yeah,
so
I'm going to have articles up. They're talking about the new Horizon releases today. They always come out with stuff on Thursday after I do my daily article, so I'll probably do stuff on those tomorrow. But they've got the new Indutrix, so they've got the switch ready to fly there, the one that does the conversion from hovercraft to drone, which is interesting. I think the biggest complaint there is the lack of FPV on it. It's the non-FPV version of the Indutrix.
Didn't I see in the story? Did I do this story? I believe I did. Yeah. I thought I saw the ability to put a camera right there.
Oh, yeah. So you can do it yourself. There you go.
Yep. P.S. This camera, there are multiple versions of this, and I have two different ones. One's a low watt and one's a medium watt. They're awesome. You could stick them on anything, including your cat, dog, parakeet. And then you can print this mount if you wanted to, or you can buy them.
Yeah.
They do have holes in that deck, it looks like.
So that's fun. And then you've got, for the hardcore guys, they've got the new Indutrix FPV BL that they came out with today, which is an Indutrix like the Plus with the FPV stuff all integrated in, but now with brushless motors, so lots more power, more performance. So that's going to be very popular, I'm sure. I love those little tiny whoop things.
P.S. The email that went out today, the mass email, if you're not a member, join, but it was going over some of the new products that have recently come out. Jason, I saved a lot of the reviews. Do we have any reviews that you know of that will be dropping anytime soon? Have you heard anything?
We're waiting on some pending stuff that I have no control over it.
I tell you what I want to do is the next email that's going out will just be reviews.
There you go.
So I saved
a lot of them in there from Horizon, just kind of waiting on them to say this is good to go.
And then the rest of this stuff.
So the other thing they came out with, you're a biplane guy, Jim. Did you see the new Pitts?
No, what size is it? Let me go to Horizon.
Whoa, there's the video. It's the new Pitts S1S. It's an 850 millimeter bind and fly, plug and play. Check it out. It should be on their new section, new releases, airplane new releases. It's a good airplane.
Airplane, new
First link
release.
there, right there.
It's the first thing on the list, my friend.
That's it right there. Booyah.
Oh, Jason, can I have that? Come
It's
on.
a pitch, baby.
I want it. All right. What does it do?
I immediately thought of you when I saw
High
it.
power, spectrum, unmatched stability, easy to fly, scale, durable, tool free, large cockpit, lightweight EPO, which, by the way, people love to hate foam. I certainly have zero hate for foam. I totally get it. That thing looks little in the air. Boy, it was whipping around. Maybe that's why
it's a little airplane, full size. It's not very big.
Is it a UMX?
No.
Huh? 40
It's like
size?
a park flyer size.
Okay. This might solve my GB
kind of
Jones.
Size. It runs a 3S, like 2200.
So it's sporty. Let's see if it'll knife edge.
It's a normal, like, fit in your car size.
Yeah. That's hot.
I mean, would be an awesome Carbon Z big plane. If you could get it to break down easily with the wing.
Well, heck, I'd take a GB this size, but I think a GB's got to be bigger than this.
Yeah.
I'm a little stuck on the GB. Okay, that was nice. That was a nice maneuver. Does it have, I want to see the servos. Okay, there we go. Let's go look at this stuff.
It's 9-gram servos.
3S, 4S. Okay. Yeah, nice rear end on there. AS3X, okay. Rock and roll, safe select, got it. You flip it and you're in the safety zone.
And really
Flies
is
off grass.
for aerobatic training.
Seems fast.
Oh, I should take this phone call from Ann live on the RC Groups podcast.
Man, what is up with Ann? You'd think we were dating or something. She calls me every day. Hi, I've been trying to call you.
I keep hitting 2 for remove me from the list, but they don't seem to get the message.
Maybe we're all going to get rich when they have to pay their fine.
There you go.
Well, let's look at what I want to know is servos. Okay, so we have top and bottom.
It's micro servos.
Yep. And
Didn't say Metal Gear. I don't think they're Metal Gear. Maybe I didn't. I don't even know if it said digital.
Let's go into specs right here. Oh, no specs.
Oh, it's a brand new page. They're still working on it.
Okay, link 31, flying weight. Ooh, that's pretty light. 4 channels. Where's the wing? I'm not seeing the information I want.
It does say, go back to the overview. Oh, that you're on the overview.
Yeah, it collapsed it.
So is it right there?
Well, it's a 3.4S.
Maybe not. I thought I saw it. There it is. It's got 4 9-gram servos, so it's 2 on the wing, and then they have connectors connecting the top and bottom ones.
Gotcha. Well, it's hot. I mean, that's how you become a successful company is make iconic airplanes.
It's kind of cool having Horizon come out with new stuff every Thursday. It's just it's just fun for hobby people like us to say, "Oh, look what's coming out."
Wonder if you could FPV that guy. It's pretty nose high.
That'd be pretty tricky to do it from the cockpit.
I don't
think on top of the wing and get by with it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a candidate. Okay, well that is awesome. Good to know. Let's see what else I'm missing here. All right, what are we looking at? 248. Jason, are you traveling? What'd you say? You got the Pumpkin Chunk. That's your next one?
Well, fall Nall in the fall. I don't know which way is the proper way
right.
to say it. They have it on their website. I don't remember. But yeah,
that is
2 weeks away. 2 weeks.
Everyone gets the name wrong.
Yeah. So true.
All right, and then I put up a story yesterday on Flying Giants. Now, I'm pretty sure, like every event of the year, the IMAC Worlds was rained out. Look at this photo, though. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, beautiful. So
basically, I created this thread just to highlight some of the photos that came out of the show. And, it's buddy shots and airplane shots. Now, that is awesome. Is that the barn? That is the barn at...
yeah, it's up in Monticello, Illinois at Eli Field, right?
But that's not where this event was. These guys must have been traveling through, I guess.
Could have been training sesh or just practice preparation.
And then what I did is I locked the thread so you couldn't post in it, which forces you to visit the real thread, which is right here. And then everyone is posting their photos into this thread.
Very cool. What was that sign? Where did it say it was?
This is another sesh.
Converse something. Converse Airport in Industrial Park. Flying Eagles. There's a lot of Flying Eagle clubs.
Look at that gas station. I've always wanted to have an office out of a gas station. I do want a dual carport, though, where I can pull in the classic cars.
Yeah.
That is a dream. FlyingGiants.com. All right, I'm going to turn all this off.
Cool, man.
Well, I have
about it.
I have more to do today.
What's that? What's the drone sitting behind you?
Oh, thank you, Jason. So my son, who is 15, proudly announced when he started his school year just recently that one of his, he had to pick an elective. And generally my kids will not pick the elective that you would think they would. They always pick, but Truman said, I wanted to be a drone pilot. So this was actually an option for him in his online school that he goes to. And I was very curious about what they had him order. So I've talked to the wife this morning. She said this cost around $160.
Okay. That seems pretty high for a toy.
I agree. It almost makes me wonder why. Well, they don't know me. They certainly wouldn't know to contact me, but I would have better suggestions for that amount of money.
You know it's a drone because it says it right on the box.
It says smart drone. Holy Stone is grateful for you. What in the heck does that mean?
It says what?
Check.
That's awesome.
What the craw? Holy Stone is grateful for you. Well, I'm probably gonna have to take a picture of that.
You gotta find this Holy Stone now.
So this is an F181W. So Truman got this in the mail and was instructed not to open it until he got his assignment. So it sat in his room. But let me tell you what I did. He's got a best friend named John who also is homeschooled, and John and Truman hang out all summer. John's been with us going out to eat and going to water parks and all that stuff. I have some of the old this is the Vista, the Drominus. Dang it.
I remember those. Yeah.
Well, I have two in a box. One of them had a bad motor, but one worked. And then I got this guy out. And then I remembered that this one is very solid in the air, right? There's no kind of, as far as I know, gyro on it, but it's very solid. So I said, okay, guys, I had tons of these batteries too. So I charged up about 6 battery packs, and I took John and Truman and put them in the backyard. And then before that, Jason, we got on Real Flight, and I got a quad that looked almost exact. Truman said, is that my quad? And I was like, no, but it looks like it, doesn't it? So they both flew on Real Flight in my office on all 3 screens. And then we went out and we flew these around. So here's what I have to say about this thing. First of all, everything is pressure fit, like the prop guards and the legs that aren't on anymore. Okay. And so as you would fly, the legs would fall off in the yard. And I said,
got a camera on the front? It does have a camera.
Yeah. So it has kind of these guys actually had cameras too. So this talks to a smartphone.
Yeah.
I didn't bring in the transmitter because everyone can just see it in their minds. It's just a game style transmitter with a place to mount your smartphone. And so the first thing you had to do is first set of instructions was to charge the battery and take off and land 3 times. And I will say that this thing is super stable in the air. So you can put it in the air and kind of let go of the controls. It's not going to lock like a DJI, but it drifts slightly. But for those guys, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So Truman flew it around a little bit, and then and I was very proud because then he said, John, you should fly it too. And so he let John fly his drone.
Nice.
And I also said, Truman, I want your expectations to be low. I want you to expect this thing to fly about 30 times before something catastrophic occurs and it's no longer flyable. So just put that in your mind. But the greatest part is that this is an option for him in class to learn to do. And if there was you could only pick one thing to make the hobby stronger in the future. If you made something like this available in every school or an option.
How cool would that be, man?
Yeah. That's all you'd have to do. One thing. So if I ever do run for district vice president of the AMA, maybe the only thing that I'll shoot for is trying to get stuff like this in classroom curriculums.
That is awesome. I mean, that's just so cool that they do that for course credit for school. Yeah. And then it's so cool that your son, of all people, wants to do that. That's what he picked.
Yeah.
You know?
And then I thought I'm uniquely qualified, finally, to help him. And so
finally, I went in with his homework.
Right. As opposed to Chinese math or whatever the kind of math they do now, which makes no sense to me. But I was like, okay, I came downstairs and got Real Flight all set up, and I got the controller out, and then I charged all the batteries, and I had everything set up in the backyard. And then when they were ready, it was all sitting there. And I'm like, I feel like a real dad.
Yeah. What if they have like bring your dad to school day and you get on and you're like, I run the world's largest RC website.
Yeah. Well, I could certainly have a background full of quadcopters and talk about all that they do.
Blow minds.
When he went to the hospital, when he knocked himself out on that table and had to have stitches, the guy stitching him up had a DJI Mavic. So it's like most people I meet, not most, but many people I meet already have things like the Mavic. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, man. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've changed the hat every time that the camera switched.
I have not noticed.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny. I haven't seen all your hat. I did see you reach down and do something, but I didn't realize you were switching. I'm not very observant. I'm not like a Sherlock Holmes. I would be terrible as an investigative person.
Well, this is my last hat.
There you go. I've changed shirts every 5 minutes. Did you notice that?
On the last podcast, I changed my underwear every time I said a new sentence. Woo, all right. Here's TMI. I did not take a shower before the podcast, but I did exercise, so that's probably what I'm going to do next.
Hey, that's what that smell is.
Yeah, smell-o-vision. All right, everyone. So this has been our informational RC Groups podcast, and I'm not going to do that thing where they do on podcasts and talk about everything they already talked about.
Here's what we talked about.
But hey, we appreciate y'all, and we appreciate Hobby King for sponsoring us, and we appreciate the hobby and everything else. So go out there, and if I had one message, it would be promote the hobby simply by being a nice guy at the airfield and asking people if they need help. That's how I got in the hobby. A guy walked up to me and said, "Can I help you with something?" I think what he actually was saying was, "Don't rob my car." But turned out good for me because I then enticed him to teach me how to fly. You know, this hat has never worked for me. This bill is always wanky. I wonder if I can get it wet and make it work.
Shape them. You can shape it.
It's such a cool hat, but the bill is so messed up. Jason, I'm going to look at the live chat before we jump out of here. Lucas W37 says, positive energy, everyone.
Keep it positive.
We've got Nick. We've got MM Mastercross. We've got Steve Coggins, Shiz9, and just Brian Chambers, Andy Engel, many more. And you know what? Before we leave the podcast today, I want to leave you with this message from Smart Drone. I want everyone to know that Holy Stone is grateful for you. So take that through your day. All right, everyone. It's been the RC Groups podcast. Thank you, Jason.
Later, y'all.
Simmer down now.